Shabbat Shalom. Let's start with a nice nigun called Bina's Nigun by Joey Weisenberg, and it's kind of a little pick-me-up, so it's good for the month of Adar. Moderate, joyous. It says,
Shabbat Shalom. That's a real toe tapper. Spring is not in the air at the moment, but spring is in the air. It's March. We set the clocks forward this week. The spring equinox is around the corner, and the signs of spring are there if you look. If you know where to look for crocuses and snowdrops, right here on High Street, there's a spot. Sure enough, they're up, they're blooming. It's a southern exposure. On the lake, it's now not frozen anymore. The waterfowl are back en masse. That's really special. So we're getting ready for spring and for Purim, which heralds spring as well. The light, after we move the clocks this week, sunset will not be until after 7 p.m. So the light is only increasing. This Torah portion speaks about the eternal light that we keep on the altar. And think about all the symbolism of light. I'll be talking more about it later, including the blessing of the Shabbat candles, which we turn to now on page 3. As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light. Together, O source of light and truth, creator of the eternal law of goodness, to find knowledge by which to live. Lead us to take the words we shall speak into our hearts and our lives. Let all who enter this sanctuary in need, all who bring the offerings of their hearts.
May our worship lead us to acts of kindness, peace, and love. Baruch atah
The Lecha Dodi, which we sing next, also mentions light in the 5th verse, which is one of the verses that we do sing on page 21. The verse reads, "Awake, awake, your light has come. Arise, shine, awake and sing. The Eternal's glory dawns upon you." For the Lecha Dodi, page 20.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, שם ותפארת ולתהילה.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונחה, כי היא מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה מחשבה תחילה.
Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך קומי אורי. אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
Rising, facing the entrance.
בואי ושלום עטרת פעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה. תוך אמוני עם סגולה, בואי כלה, בואי כלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה.
That's sounding better and better.
All right. That's the goal.
We remain standing for the Baruch Hu, page 28.
Yalla lai lai lai, 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 yalla lai lai lai. Barechu et Adonai Amevorach. ועד, לעולם ועד. יאללה לי לי לי, יאללה לי לי לי, yalla lie lie lie, yalla lie lie lie. Just you guys.
La la lie lie lie, la la lie lie lie. Please be seated. On page 30, speaking of light and seasons, blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. Together, you are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tsevaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, ha-ma'ariv arabim. There's outer light and inner light, the outer world and the inner world. The inner world of Ahavat Olam, page 32.
Ahavat Olam,
Beit Yisrael, Ahavta,
Torah
u'mitzvot,
חוקים ומשפטים אותנו למדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו ושוכבנו ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך ונשמח בדברי תורתך ומצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו ואורך ימינו, ובהם נהיה יומם ולילה. באחוותך אל תסיר ממנו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני אוהב עמו ישראל. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Va'ed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavecha ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בם
בשבתך, בביתך,
ובלכתך
בדרך,
ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם להות על ידך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובישעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, הייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
Our next prayer, Mi Chamocha, as you know, often takes on melodies in proximity to the holidays that occur. So as we sing Mi Chamocha on page 40, see if you can guess what melody this is connected to.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נהדר בקודש, נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מה נורא תהילות עושה פלא, מלכותך ראו בניך, קיים לפני משה ומרים, זהו לי אנו ואמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד. ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל.
I was watching people's faces. Lauren got the tune the first because I saw the smile. Does everybody know what the song was? What song it was based on? Hag Purim, Hag Purim. There you go. We'll be singing that song again.
We should have planted some groggers in it.
No, too soon for that. Page 42, grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace.
I'm counting on the singers here. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu l'chayim. Hashivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, Hamidenu Shomreinu l'chayim. Ushmor tzetzeinu u'oeinu l'chayim u'shalom me'ata ve'ad olam. just you.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Ahamidenu Shomreinu Lechayim
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu Lishalom Hamidenu
Shomreinu Lechayim.
Uferos alenu sukat shelomecha Baruch atah Adonai Haporei sukat shalom Aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
I was reading a piece in the real estate section today of the paper, and it was about a couple that had fallen in love with a piece of land on the San Juan Islands off the coast of Washington. And they had camped in this area for several years and really thought it was beautiful. And when you see the pictures, it was really stunning. And so they decided to buy the land. They're two high-powered and obviously wealthy advertising executives. And then the article described the home that they had designed, custom designed and built. But the land was remote enough that they actually had to construct a road just to be able to build the house. And so it's gorgeous, but it's very isolated and there's nothing really nearby. And at the end of the article, the husband said, "We've learned to live a quieter life and value quiet time differently than before." But he said that's been a beautiful challenge in our lives. And it occurs to me that we're kind of challenged to do that once a week. It's called Shabbat, is to really cherish that quieter time of Shabbat if we're able to observe the Shabbat. And that's really the celebration of both of the prayers on page 44. Usually we sing V'shamru. I have on the outline tonight, Yismachu. Is that true, Suzy?
It's true.
Okay, they both celebrate the same thing, the quietude and the reviving spirit of Shabbat.
And they're both great sing-along. Hint, hint. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Yismechu b'malechutecha, shomrei, shomrei, shomrei Shabbat, v'korei oneg Shabbat. Mekadeshei, mekadeshei shvi Shabbat. Kulam yisperu v'tuka v'shabbat yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat yismechu b'malechutecha shomrei 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 Shabbat v'korei oneg Shabbat Hashvi רצית בו וקידשתו שבת, חמדת ימים, אותו קראת שבת. ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
ישמחו במלכותך, שומרי, שומרי, שומרי שבת, וקורא עונג שבת.
זכר למעשה שבי שבת, זכר למעשה למעשה וראשית שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת ישמחו במלכותך שומרי 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 שבת וקורא עונג שבת.
It's a great tune. We should do it more often.
All right. Sounds good.
For the Tefillah Amidah prayer, page 46, we rise.
Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Oh, eternal God, open my lips, that my mouth may declare your glory. Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha Adonai sifatai tiftach ufi agid tehilatecha. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah. האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומר חסדים טובים, וקונה הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לבני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה. מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah gibor leolam Adonai, Mechaye hakol atah Rav lehoshia. Mashiv haruach umorid hakashem, Mechalkel chayim bechesed, Mechaye hakol berachamim rabim, Somech noflim verofeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato, Lishenei afar, Michamocha pahal kefurot, Umidom elach, Melech memit umechaye, umatzmiach Yeshua, ונאמן אתה להחיות הכל. ברוך אתה אדוני מחיי הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יהללוך סלה. ברוך אתה אדוני האל הקדוש.
Please be seated. On page 59 from the 8th Psalm, when we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us? We mortals that you take note of us. Together, you made us little less than divine, adorned with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha ulache na'eh lehodot. The Amidah ends with the peaceful prayer of Shalom Rav, page 60.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasib leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasib leolam. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. V'tov be'enecha livarech et amcha Yisrael b'chol eit u'b'chol shah b'shlomecha. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael amcha tasim leolam. Tasim leolam. Tasim leolam.
Now at the end of the Amidah, our thoughts turn to those of our loved ones and all others in need of healing, be this a healing of body or a healing of soul. We're mindful, ever mindful every week of those who still suffer in captivity, some 30 souls it is thought, and another 30 families waiting for their loved ones to come back as bodies. We think of those closer to our own home as I come around, and if you would like to name a person or persons, please do so. מי שברך אבותינו ואמותינו הוא ישלח במהרה. רפואה שלמה, רפואת הנפש ורפואת הגוף, ונאמר אמן.
מי שברך אבותינו מקור הברכה, אמותינו, may the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mi sheperach imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
When I give tours of the sanctuary to little kids, as I do each year, and they're up here on the bima, I'm explaining everything, and I ask them, why do you think we keep an eternal light, a light burning all the time? I explain it's a commandment from the Torah. My favorite answer from years ago was a little kid that said, it's like the nightlight in my room. And there's really something to that. So there's many different literal and more metaphorical understandings of keeping the light burning. One is that it's a reminder of Sinai, because the whole sanctuary, the whole bima, reminds us of the ascent to Sinai and the light, and the thunder and the lightning from the top of the mountain, this being the mountain and this being the top. So it's a remembrance of that revelatory moment. It's kindling light, of course, against the darkness, but it could just be a reminder of the ever-giving light of the sun, which I'll be talking about a little bit more in a few moments. But as we pause right now, we think about what light we can keep perpetually illuminating, perpetually burning from our own souls. We pause.
עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו, יעשה שלום, let's clap, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל, הוא יעשה שלום, הוא יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל.
Now, something very special happened that was out of this world on December 24th, just before Christmas Eve and Hanukkah, which coincided this year. And I had wanted to talk about this back at Hanukkah, but did not have the opportunity. Better late than never, but now at the spring equinox and setting of the clocks and the Torah portion, because it has to do about light, it has to do about the sun, and it really excites people like me who are space buffs. And I know that I've talked about space things before, and I will continue to do so, because I didn't want to have this pass without it being noticed. And that's not to say that everything's okay with the space program right now, because it's not. Because Suni Williams and Butch Wilmore, those are the two astronauts who went up to space. They thought for a week. It's 9 months later. They finally have a date for coming back. Let's hope that everything goes okay with them. And you might have heard that for the second time today, this morning, that new SpaceX Starship, no astronauts on board, test flight, blew up in space again. So there's problems, and there always will be. It's inherently dangerous. It's inherently pushing the frontiers. But on December 24th, at 6:53 a.m. Eastern Time, the Parker Solar Probe, a NASA spacecraft, passed within 3.8 million miles of the sun. Now you may be saying, so? That's not so close. It's the closest by far that any man-made object has ever come by 7 times. And what was so special, it was the first man-made object to penetrate the corona, the upper atmosphere of the sun. Isn't that exciting? How about if I told you that while it was doing so, now this is talking about our need for speed, it accelerated to 430,000 miles an hour, and that's the fastest that a human object has ever gone. Isn't that exciting? It's a voyage of discovery, said Nikki Fox, the Associate Administrator of NASA's Science Mission. We really are going into the unknown. Nothing has flown through the atmosphere of a star, and no other mission will do so in the foreseeable future. So we didn't know if the Parker Solar Probe had survived its encounter in the corona until 3 days later. I'm happy to tell you it did survive, but all the data it collected has still not reached the Earth. The spacecraft has to get to a safe place before it can transmit its data, but the scientists are really excited about the data that it will release. Just a little bit more background. The mission's close-up with the sun is the culmination of a dream that dates to the beginning of the space age. Scientists have wanted to do this, to enter the corona, since the 1950s when the space age came of being. But it was so complex that it required work until now. It needed what is called a gravity assist, in this case by Venus, to swing into the proper orbit around the sun. And a genius of a mission manager working at the Applied Physics Laboratory came up with the solution in 2007. A trajectory punctuated by 7 gravity assists from Venus. The mission was greenlit and eventually named after Eugene Parker, the solar physicist who predicted the existence of solar wind in the 1950s, and he lived to see the launch of his namesake probe before dying in 2022 at the age of 94. We live, does anybody happen to know how far away from the sun? Michael was right on top, 93 million miles. 93 million miles, but if you go outside, without protection, especially at certain times of the year, you're going to get sunburn. And did you know that at 93 million miles away, you can't look directly at the sun? Your eye reflexively, automatically moves away because it's too bright, it's too intense. That's why solar eclipses can be dangerous, because the eye is not reflexive at that point. That's why you have to wear those special glasses. Otherwise, the sun will burn the retina of your eyes from 93 million miles away. So that puts into perspective how close the Parker Solar Probe came, and they had to design a heat shield that could withstand the 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, even from 3 million miles or so away. But even though the sun is so intense and can be so dangerous, it makes all life possible. We need light physically and metaphorically in our lives. The sun makes for the conditions that bring forth life of all sorts on our planet. If it was closer or if it was further away, it wouldn't work. And all the biochemical reactions that go into the creation of life are fueled by the energy of the sun. So I just wanted to hail the Parker Space Probe and once again give glory to the sun that we always take for granted. Here comes the sun, and I say, it's all right. That's your cue.
Okay.
She was so enthralled with the sermon that...
It was cool. It was hot.
It was hot.
we need Peter here tonight.
Yeah.
All right, sing along, everybody. Here comes the sun. Do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I said,
It's all right.
Little darling, it's been a long, cold, lonely winter. Little darling, it feels like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, here comes the sun, and I said, it's all right. Little darling, the smiles returning to their faces. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been here. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's all right. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Sun, 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 here it comes. Little darling, I feel that ice is slowly melting. Little darling, it seems like years since it's been clear. Here comes the sun, do-do-do-do. Here comes the sun, and I said, it's all right. It's all right.
Special thank you to Suzy. I asked her today to sing that song.
You need like a lifeline to Peter. Like,
For the Emuno, the bottom of page 282, as we open the Sunny Ark, please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, l'teit gedula yotzer b'reshit, shelo asanu kegoye haratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, v'anachnu koreim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malachei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. She'unot shamayim ve'yoser haaretz, u'moshav yikaro b'shamayim mima'al, u'shchinatu zo be'kovei meromim, hu Eloheinu enod, emet malkeinu efesulato, kakatu betorato, edata hayom v'hashevota elevavecha, hi Adonai
On this Shabbat, we now call to mind in love and reverence those recently taken from our midst during the Shoshim, during the past 30 days, Muriel Reed, and on this Shabbat, the Yortzeit, the anniversary of the passing of Murray Brown, father of Cheryl Alikio. For all those close to our hearts and for all those for whom there may be no one to say Kaddish, we join in the Kaddish prayer on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabba, be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'hayechon uv'yomechon uv'chayei d'chol Beit Yisrael, ba'gala uv'izman kari v'imru amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach leolam olei almaya. Yitbarak v'yishtabak v'yitpa'ar v'yitroman v'yitnaseh. V'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemei d'kudisha b'richu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechamata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama Rabba min Shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom bimrama, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, comfort to all who are bereaved. Amen. Please be seated. Some sunny comments from our president, Marshall.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
I can't help but think when you were going over that, the patience they have to work on this, that they launch these, they launch in a decade it takes for everything to work out, and then it's finally past the sun. They have the information in the ship, but they have to wait longer just to get it back. I couldn't do that. Anyway, thank you for that, and thank you for the beautiful guitar accompaniment today. And thank you, Dylan, for streaming tonight's service. We have Torah study tomorrow at 10 a.m., religious school on Sunday this week. Also, there is, I believe, the Top Purim program is this Sunday. And then the regular Purim program, the service, and the carnival for the religious school will be the following Sunday on the 16th. Book club will be this Monday evening at 7:30. There was a link in this week's email blast, so look for that if you're joining. Also, want to remind everyone of the tenement trip, which will be coming up on April 6th. We've secured tickets. There will be an email blast going out and an opportunity to RSVP for that, so be on the lookout for that. There was an email out about the second Seder, which is coming up on April 6th. There are still some seats available. April 13th. Sorry, I left the wrong date. April 13th, the week after the tenement trip. There are still spots open, so if you want to RSVP using the last email blast that went out, please do that, RSVPing to Virginia. And there is, in partnership with the Jewish Federation of Northern New Jersey, there is a food drive going to be starting. There are blue bags in the back of the sanctuary, as well as in the social hall and in the school for people to pick up. That's running through March 23rd. Shabbat shalom.
That Purim service from 10 to 11 a week from Sunday is going to be a lot of fun. And Suzy's going to be joined by Rabbi Max for some really festive Purim music, some of which we haven't done before. So we encourage a multi-generational celebration. There's going to be Humantashen and hot drinks for the adults who don't go down to the carnival. They can go to the carnival if they want, next door as well. I also want to mention this week is our confirmation class, and we have so many interesting debates. So we're going to do a local debate and a global debate this Sunday with the confirmation class. The local one, I don't know if you've heard anything about it, about a top-ranked New Jersey wrestler who was threatened with suspension and not being able to defend his title for getting in a brawl, helping to defend his father at a match. It's been a major debate in the New Jersey sports world. I thought the confirmation kids would be into that. We've had several wrestlers in the confirmation class, and then we're going to have a much more global debate on matters connected to Israel as well. So there's a saying in the Talmud, in the tractate Megillah, that when Adar, the Hebrew month of Adar, comes, Misheniknas Adar, Marbeis B'Simcha, that you should increase your joy, your happiness, because it's spring, because of the Purim holiday. So even though things are crazy in the world, we want to increase that, and there's a song set to those words.
Yeah, okay, it's a real easy song, so you got to sing along. Once you catch on, you may already know it. And it's so easy, it's just Mishe, 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 Mishe.
Misha, 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 Misha.
Mishe, 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 Mishe.
Misha, 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 Misha.
Mishe Nichnas.
Misha Neknas.
Adar.
Adar.
Marbin.
Marbin.
Besimcha.
Besimcha.
All right, you got it. Mishe, 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 Nichnas Adar. Mishe, 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 Nichnas Adar. Mishe Nichnas Adar, Marbin Besimcha. Mishe Nichnas Adar, Marbin Besimcha. This is a good clapping moment. Let's clap. Mishe, 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 Nichnas Adar. Mishe, 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 Nichnas Adar. Mishe Nichnas Adar, Marbin Besimcha. Mishe Nichnas Adar, Marbin Besimcha.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.